Hello, everybody. Welcome to Late Night Football. Welcome to our match reaction show. It's finished Manchester City 2, Newcastle United 0. 3 points for Manchester City. That now puts pressure on Arsenal to go and get the job done against Bournemouth if they can. And that's what I think Manchester City will take from this game, is the fact that they got the 3 points against what could have been difficult opponents. And then we'll talk about Newcastle as well a little bit later on. But yeah, coming from that game, I think what Newcastle will probably take is the fact that they missed opportunities. There were 3 chances, good chances. At least if one of them could have been taken, it might have made the game a little bit more interesting. But just Newcastle, that's the problem for Newcastle this is the fact that they haven't been scoring goals. And as soon as City got the lead, you just kind of felt like City might go on and get the 3 points. That there was a good chance that they would go on and get the 3 points because just Newcastle struggles in front of goal are a problem. It was interesting to see the change shape. They've been playing with this 3-6-1 formation. But today they played with the 4-3-3, the orthodox 4-3-3. I think the reason that they played that, I think, was because Pep thought that Saint-Maximin will start. And I think he didn't want to have, he wanted to have that protection on that left-hand side on the wings to go wide. I'm not going to play, if I'm playing in Saint-Maximin, I don't want to play with just one wing back who's not really defensive inclined. So I think he played the back four and then had the 3 in front. But then, Eddie Howe didn't play Saint-Maximin. He played the Anthony Gordon instead. So that's something. But City did look better. They do look better when they play the 4-3-3. They look much better. I don't know why Pep insists on playing the 3-6-1, and we'll see if he's ditched that, when they play against Leipzig. We'll see what happens there. But it's the formation that doesn't make sense to me at all. But that first goal, it was a pretty good, it was a good move, because the switch play is nice. To Phil Foden, but then it's all about Phil Foden. And I think the Newcastle defense will be upset that 5 defenders couldn't stop Phil Foden. I mean, he went past 5 defenders with quite ease, and not all defenders, of course. I'm sure Bruno was in there as well as a midfielder, but he got past 5 players with ease. And there was some talk that if Pope was playing on Saturday or on Sunday in the League Cup final, he would have saved that deflected shot, and Karius didn't. Well, there was a deflected shot here as well from Botman, and he didn't save it, did he? It still went in. So I think that will calm down a little bit of the talk. There was, of course, luck, because I think if that deflection doesn't happen, I don't think he scores. But you make your own luck. He got past 5 players and he made his own luck. He got himself into a position where he could take the shot, and after that, it's down to that goal going in, and it goes in. So it's a goal. And I thought Phil Foden was the man of the match. I'll just say it right now. I thought he was the man of the match. He was the guy that was making things happen. I think Grealish, in games like this, he often tends to get one-dimensional, which is just run and foul, run and go down, get a foul, basically. That's what he does in these sort of games. So he was very ineffective. I don't think De Bruyne had a good game either. And it's telling that De Bruyne comes off of Bernardo Silva. I'll talk about Bernardo in a second, but it's telling that De Bruyne comes off of Bernardo Silva when they're 1-0 up and they're trying to close out a game. It's fascinating to watch what's happening there, because I don't, you sometimes don't want to read into it too much, but the fact is that there is something there where De Bruyne has been coming off a lot in games, particularly when they're 1-0 up, or when they need a win, or when they need something. It's De Bruyne who usually gets the hook. So I'm just wondering where that is going at the moment. But we'll want to keep an eye on for sure. But that's what it is. The Foden goal. After that, Newcastle 3 chances. I mean, the one, in fact 4, because Gordon as well. People forget about Anthony Gordon slipping. His standing leg just standing into way. But then there was the chance for Sean Longstaff, which I was like, you can't take a touch in that situation. Once the ball comes to Longstaff, he's got to shoot. Right? It doesn't matter if it's off target, whatever. The moment you take a touch, it's not going in. If you don't take a touch and you go, or your first touch has got to be one that's going to push it out. But really, in that position, there's no way that a first touch is ever going to get you into a better position than the one you're already in. So he's got to go first time. If he misses, he misses, but he's got to go first time. Once he took that touch, that shot was gone. Good defending from Ake, but that chance went away once he took the first touch. The Callum Wilson air shot, I mean, again, better connection. I don't think, again, it's a difficult chance because it's up and it's coming. So even if he gets a connection, I don't know if it's gonna go in. It's a good position, but the air shot just kind of, again, just kills that chance. Anyway, he didn't even make the most of it, and that's Callum Wilson for you. And then the chance which came to Joelinton, I wonder. I mean, I'm not sure. Maybe he could have taken it with his right foot. Maybe he could have just side footed it again, because on the left foot, the problem is once you open your body and you're trying to side foot it with your left foot, the problem is there's always a chance where it's going to skim past, because that's how the angle of the left foot goes. But if you side foot it with your right foot, that's a much better chance of going in. Again, it was just poor decision making on shots and shot selection, just poor all around, and that was the problem. But Then a second sucker punch goal comes. And as soon as Bernardo Silva came on, I thought this is a big change, because Bernardo Silva is a guy who makes things happen. I do believe that more than anybody else, I think Bernardo Silva is the X factor in that team, because he's someone who can defend, who's, you know, pretty tenacious. He's someone who's very skillful. He's someone who can pop up with goals. He's pretty much the all-round midfielder. And every year we hear about him wanting to leave, but he never leaves Manchester City. But he's such a vital player. And as soon as he came on, I was like, this is a problem for Newcastle. And it turned out to be 2 minutes in, Newcastle giving the ball away. They gave the ball away quite a few times. I don't know what was wrong with that pitch, because there were quite a few slips on that pitch. I know, you know, Bruno slipped a few times, and Maximin slipped, you know, a couple of times. I believe that even Callum Wilson slipped once, and I think even Joelinton. Quite a few players were slipping. So I don't know what was going on with that pitch. Not conspiracy theory, but I'm just saying that there was something wrong in the pitch, because when you have more than one player slipping so much, that is a problem. But nonetheless, that's something, you know. I mean, Lascelles, yes, Lascelles slipped once. I remember, yeah, he did slip when he was trying to give away a foul. So, but nonetheless, there was a slip, and I mean, not a slip, but they lost the ball. It comes out to Grealish. It's a, again, nice pass to Haaland. The one time that he made a good pass, you know, not the one time, he did make a few good passes, but you know, that was good. There was a good pass to Haaland. He played it early rather than trying to run with it too much. He plays into Haaland. Haaland gets a nice layoff for Bernardo Silva, and then from there it's just about to finish. But again, Newcastle gave it away the ball and made their own you know, demise in that game, because yeah, two perfectly avoidable goals. And you know, that's just what it is, isn't it? Great teams, they don't play well, but they find a way to win, and they sometimes find a way to win without even needing to play well. I don't think City needed to play well today to beat Newcastle. That was how routine it was, and that's what, you know, these things matter, because now, you know, it's a game where you can conserve energy. So when it comes time to up yourself a level, they have those reserves that they can. So 2-0, well deserved win for Manchester City. Or I don't think Newcastle, they threatened, they should have made more, but then they didn't take their chances, and that's where that is. The word on Haaland, you know, it was interesting today. Haaland, I don't think he had a good game. I do think that towards the end, he was more interested in shithousery than in playing. You know, the whole thing with the pulling with Dan Burn. I mean, I don't know why Haaland was the one who was so outraged, but he comes and he pulls. I think he's just trying to rile defenders up. Then he does the whole, you know, trick around the corner box. People might have loved it, and I'm not saying that it wasn't funny, but what I'm just saying is that I think towards the end of the game, he kind of lost track of wanting to score a goal and just said, I'm going to shithouse my way through this game. So that's something to think about, to watch out for. Is that a good thing? Is it a bad thing? I don't know. Let me know in the comments. I thought it was interesting that he lost, and maybe that's some place where he lost his concentration. And at 2-0 up, you can do that. But imagine if it was 1-0 down and he loses his head in that way. You know, it's always great when it comes off, but when it doesn't, you know, that might be a thing. But nonetheless, I mean, I don't think he had a good game today. He got the assist, but I think, again, you know, the thing is, Haaland is always going to be a limited player. So if you cannot find him in the box, if you can't create those chances for him, he can be pretty anonymous. And I know he's trying to add to his game, but that's going to take time. It's going to take time for him to become, you know, a more complete striker. He's not that yet. Right now, he's pretty much a penalty box predator. He's probably the best penalty box predator in the world. There's no doubt about that. But he's still more or less a penalty box predator. So something there. Not a criticism. That's just the way that he plays. And City knew that when they bought him. He's got 33 goals in all competitions this season. So he's doing a lot right. But at least he's going to have these sort of games. These sort of games are going to be just as common as the ones where he scores hat-tricks and all of that. But for Newcastle, I think the key problem now, of course, is the goal scoring, but also the fact that now they've started to fall away from that top four race. I think they were 4 points behind Spurs, but they're 2 games in hand. Now they have just won. So it's now gone out of their hands a little bit. They're going to have to now rely on results and stuff like that. So they've got to, you know, find ways to win. I think they're going to have a problem. I do feel that now, if Liverpool beat Manchester United tomorrow, I feel the top 4 race will be between Liverpool and Spurs. If it isn't already, I feel those two are going to fight it out for that 4th spot. You know, and you could still. I mean, I'm hopeful that Manchester United done there, but nonetheless, at the moment, at least the 4th spot is between Spurs and Liverpool. And we'll see which of the two. But I just feel that Newcastle is starting to lose steam a little bit. But they need results to start change. For that to change, they need to start getting the wins once again as they were getting at the start of the season. But let's see what happens. Let us see what happens. You know, there's still a long way to go in this season, and we don't know where things are headed. But yeah, well done to City. I mean, 3 points for them, and they put pressure on Arsenal to go and beat Bournemouth now. So we'll see what they do. But yeah, that's what they've got to do. It's got to keep winning. Got a big game against Leipzig coming up as well, which I believe they will win. They probably wouldn't have wanted to be in a situation where they need to win the second leg, but you know, that's what it is. I'm confident they'll get the job done there. Anyway, let me know your thoughts on the game, of course. So, what do you think about Manchester City's performance? What do you think on Newcastle's performance? You know, but the shit house at the end from Haaland, Foden's play, Kevin De Bruyne. Always love to hear your thoughts. Of course, smash like if you enjoyed this video. Smash like for Manchester City's win. Congratulations to all the City fans. Please do subscribe to our channel on YouTube, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We appreciate your support a lot. And we're going to do a few more reaction shows today, of course. So please do subscribe so you can get notified to those when they drop. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. We'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.